Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and other like. Thanks for joining in tonight. Welcome all Mandela effectings. Hey, I want to shed some light to the Mandela effect, and I have a couple of special guests on the line here. One is Theresa Lynch. The other one is Ty. Ty, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you know about the Mandela effect. What have you discovered?
Well, I came across the Mandela effect almost completely by accident, as I'm sure most people have. I was just going through some things that, some Bible verses, ironically, just some Bible verses, and I thought to myself that the Bible verses that didn't sound right. It didn't sound right. And I went back and I asked my wife, and my wife said, no, that doesn't sound right. And ironically, it was Matthew chapter 7, judge not, lest ye be judged. And now the verse doesn't say, judge not, lest ye be judged. And when I went through everything, it's a very simple verse. And when I went through everything, I couldn't find any proof of judge not, lest ye be judged anywhere. What the verse says now is, judge not, that ye be not judged.
Judge not that ye be not judged. That's right. That's what it says now.
Yeah. Right. Now, the bigger thing is that, believe it or not, as it gets worse and worse and worse, but every verse, it seems that from every book, just scratch that, it's something that in some Bibles I found that every first word of every chapter is completely capitalized, but not in every Bible, but in a lot of the Bibles I've never seen it before, where every word of every first word of each chapter is completely capitalized. So if the word was James, it would be capital James. So I've never seen that before either. But it would be something that I would have noticed. And
Yes,
that's something that I think has flip-flopped a couple times as well.
Yeah, and another thing, I've noticed Matthew 11:15, the part where it says, "He who has the eyes to see, let him see, and he who has the ears to hear, let him hear." That part completely disappeared, and now it's just the ears to hear, let him hear. That one made me turn white as a ghost, and so did the word trespasses. Do you recall trespasses being the way it is now?
Yes, there's so many changes now that it's hard to find. The thing that really gets me is that I try to find someone to agree with me, and the people who should agree with me, people that know that read their Bibles over and over again, don't agree. They think the person always.
Yeah. Hey, Ty, you still there?
Yeah.
Hey, Ty. There's another guest on the line, Mr. Hefner, Tom.
Yes.
Hey, Tom. How you doing? Welcome aboard. I hope you don't mind. I do have to tell you that we are recording, and this is we're going on YouTube. Is that okay with you? Are you cool with that?
Oh, absolutely.
And I definitely like everyone's input here as to what woke you up. We're talking about what woke us up to the Mandela effect, and we're also we're talking about discussing Bible things. Ty was speaking about that, and Ty, go ahead, continue what you were saying.
The big thing was I couldn't get anybody to agree with me. The verses had changed, and I thought I'm just alone. I can't believe it. But thankfully, my wife saw the same thing I did, and then when I went online and I found other people that believed the same, and I couldn't believe it. There's all these people that said, "Yeah, this is a change." But when I went to the people that I thought would believe what I believed, I could not find even one. Even one. I thought that was really, really strange because it was just me and me, just like you would have about the JFK or the Louis Anderson being dead. Same thing. They just flat out rejected it and could not see it. They were nice. They weren't mean. They were nice to me, but they were like, "I'm sorry, you're mistaken."
Yeah, I think. Do you guys agree? I think a lot of people in this reality, they're kind of ignorant and they get irritated easily. Am I right?
I think absolutely. I think it's a lot worse than that. Yeah, absolutely. They don't want to hear that you're great.
But some people that have the, especially Theresa knows this, the people that have the M on their hand, They're
Yes.
more empathetic and they're empaths.
Yes.
Everyone that I've woken up has the M on their hands, just like me. I don't know if you guys look at your hands or not. Can you confirm if you have an M or not? If you want to try to describe it to them, Brian, what I'm talking about?
Well, you know those three little lines that go on your hand. One of them is kind of curved. Well, sometimes, actually, I'm looking at my hand. I do have the little part that comes down. It makes it look like an M. I don't know if you guys are seeing this out there. If It just means you're
the palm of the hand.
in the palm of your hand. Yeah. Do you know about that, Tom?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah. Look at your hand. Look at the palm of your hand. See if you have the M on your hand, either hand.
Let me check the other one.
It looks like an M. Like if you look at the lines, you can literally see an M. Whether it's upside down, sideways, you can literally see an M. If you look at it.
That is a mic, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The three.
What Theresa is referring to is something in palmistry, and I did not grasp this in the beginning because, of course, my Christian background, but I'm aware of it because, of course, my Christian background, you got to be aware of it. But what it is that in the field of parapsychology, you understand, or paranormal, there are people that are considered empaths, okay? All psychics are empaths, but not all empaths are psychics. Make sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
The strongest of the empaths, most gifted of them, has M's, or said or reported to have M's on the lines of their hands. They form an M. And ironically, Theresa has stumbled across, just as I have, they have stumbled across people who see the Mandela effect, ironically have M's on their hands. And they're all empaths.
Yes, I've noticed that, and before somebody even brought up the video, I remember Theresa was telling me about that. There have been numerous videos made about it.
Yeah, and she is correct. It doesn't have to fit 100%.
No,
but it's 95% of the time, yeah, they're empaths. That's what they are.
And
people who are more empathetic, they understand emotions better.
Exactly, and us empaths, we tend to be more open-minded. Is that right?
Yeah.
The open-mindedness, I totally agree with that.
Yes. As if, not to be so PC, but yeah, open-mindedness, yeah, they're more understanding. They seem to be more understanding.
So basically...
That's it better?
Yeah, definitely. So basically the veil for us has been lifted, and we're trying to help the rest of the world see things. Not the way we see things, but the way it used to be. The way reality used to be. A huge Mandela effect for me was the fruit of the loom. How many people remember the fruit of the loom having that cornucopia? I know I do.
Oh yeah, that was exactly. I remember.
Always. Yeah, and of course the big ones are JFK.
Yep.
Of course, the Lindbergh baby. The Lindbergh baby was big for me.
Lindbergh baby, you said?
And, yeah, Lindbergh baby, JFK, and any other ones you want to throw in there. These are big ones.
Yes. Go ahead and elaborate for folks about the Lindbergh baby, if you don't mind. Ty, you there?
Redenbacher, I just found that out a couple of days ago. That definitely.
Yes. Oh my God.
I showed that to my son. He's like kind of borderline. But then the other day I showed it to him. He looked at it. I saw his facial expression. I said, "Bang! I gotcha."
Was he white as a ghost? Was he white as a ghost?
Huh?
Was he white as a ghost? Because some people it scares them. Like seriously, like when they see things different than what they remember, it kind of scares them a little bit. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. You read their face,
You either sound to them almost like a doomsayer or something like that, or end of the world speaker, or like a what do they call those people?
End times doomsday prophet, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. But I was thinking more along the lines of like somebody that goes against the norm and thinks everything like 9/11 is a scheme and
rebellious or whatever.
No, it's a
conspiracy nut.
Conspiracy. That's what I meant. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. The thing is that like I try to point out to people, it's not that I'm big into the Mandela effect. I'm not big into the Mandela effect. I wish I didn't see it. I wish it wasn't this way. The problem is I can't not see it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I know. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
That's right. And the strange thing that I find, the strange anomaly that I find with people is the fact when you talk to them, they blink at you like a deer in the headlight look, and there's nothing there. You can wave your hand in front of their face. They just don't get it. They're like they don't.
Tom. Well, Ty, let me ask all of you. When do you think? When do you believe the earliest shift happened? When was the earliest shift to you guys? Do you think 2012? You think?
I think that had something to do with.
I think it had to be 2012.
2012.
If I were to guess, I would say 2012 would be it. Only because that's what I was reading about 2012 before I ever knew about the Mandela effect. The earliest Mandela effect for me personally was 2016. But as I was reading, I can read back to about 2012, even though people that I've met personally or that I've talked to personally have only gone far back as 2015.
Yeah, well, you want to know something else that I found that was really weird? I asked Siri, I think this was back in 2012 or 2011. I said there was this question that you could pose to Siri. She would say, the opening of the gates of hell. It was July of, it was 2014. How would Siri know the answer to that? That's what I'm saying. I think Apple and other companies, they know about what's happening, and they're partially behind it, or they know about it.
Well, when they do Google Trends, sorry, but when they did the Google Trends,
sure.
In 2009 January is when the blind lay down lamb got switched to wolf. And there was a lot of other changes that happened right now at the same time when you did the Google Trend. And then with the Bernstein Bears. Yeah, that was another big thing. Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Did Ty and, I'm sorry, what's your name, sir? The other guy?
Tom Hefner?
Tom.
Was he aware of the, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom's on the line.
Were you and Ty aware of the literature that CERN put out, basically throwing the Mandela in our face?
Are you
Brian,
talking about that
elaborate on that one, about that form they were handing out, which had all the Mandela stuff already on it?
Yeah, didn't it?
Yeah, tell them about that form.
Yeah, it's a PDF. You can actually download it on CERN's, I think from CERN's website or from one of those subsites. You can download the PDF, and it basically has little pictures, like children's looking pictures of has like the mirror on the wall picture. It has I think some Alice in Wonderland stuff, and what else did you notice was on there?
I think the Star Wars thing.
Oh yeah.
Like the Luke of your
father. Oh yeah. Yeah, those
it's like
things.
They're throwing it in our face.
Yeah, those things. The Star Wars, the Bernstein Bears, those things. I wasn't really concerned about because, like I said, once I found Laurenberg Baby and JFK, there was no going back. I know what those are, and everything else. Even the the Jiffy peanut butter.
Yes.
Yes.
The residuals involved with the Jiffy sandwiches.
With a $10,000 pyramid show, they had that residual. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Which is just those type of things. Those are so small, but the Lindbergh Baby and JFK, those are huge. You can
can you explain?
We know that were passed away, like Louis Anderson and like Ed Asner that was passed away.
Yep.
And of course, Gene Wilder was passed away.
Billy Graham.
Yeah, I heard about Billy Graham. Yeah.
Billy Graham was passed away.
They even had proof on CNN. They showed a funeral.
No, Billy Graham. I know that Billy Graham passed away because on my other Facebook, what I had to do is I had to disassociate. I had to shut down my other Facebook to start another Facebook because I just didn't feel comfortable. I was an admin in several groups, Bible groups, and I quit. I said I can't do this because the verses had changed. That's how much the verses had changed. I couldn't even follow. I couldn't even follow. This goes far beyond Lion and the Lamb. This goes far beyond Judge Atlas.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't even keep up with it. The verses are scary. There's so many, but I don't want to bore you to tears. I don't want to do that. So
I know.
To make a long story short, I quit, and I started another Facebook page, and I got into with other people to see if I could find somebody that believed what I believed or saw what I saw, and of course I did. One of the things, though, that I found with the Mandela effect, very, very important, is that there are people that believe in the Mandela effect that do not share the same memories that you do. They almost like they share different memories from another reality. And that's what makes the Mandela effect so crazy, is that they'll say, well, Ed Asner's alive. I know he's alive, but I know that JFK had 4 seats, not 6. So he believes in the 4 seats, but he believes that Ed Asner's alive. So in effect, he doesn't believe everything that you believe. He believes in the Mandela effect just like you do, but it's a little bit different than what you believe. Those people in groups on Facebook and the like, they tend to fight with each other, trying to prove things to each other, and that's nonsense. You don't have to prove anything. That's what you believe.
No. With the quantum effect, you're absolutely right. There's people who have a different timeline of what they experience from other people, and that's just the way it is. It deals with the multi-dimensional universe, and you have a different experience. And I hate to say this phrase because it goes against the absolutes, but everybody experiences something different, and they're all correct. Ed Asner is dead. Ed Asner is alive. Everybody's right. That takes into the possibility that everything's already happened. I'm not one of those people that believe that everything's already happened, and that's okay. But when you get down to the nitty-gritty of it, I believe that it has to be a merging of realities. And the trouble is that I believe it's a merging of more than one reality. It has to be, because if it were some sort of glitch, like in a Matrix type thing, where the timeline flip, we would not have residuals. Because we have residuals, it has to be a merging of timelines. You're absolutely right. That makes absolute sense. You're right on the right track. Does that mean? And I mean, I'm a sci-fi fan as much as the next person, but I'm not a geek. And I know that the question remains: am I from this reality, or am I not from this reality? And sorry to say, I don't think I am. I think that, I don't think that I'm from this main reality. I don't think I am, because the question remains: why do I remember something different? Because physically, I'm from this reality. That is, people who believe in the Mandela effect, people that believe in the quantum effect, know that their anatomy has changed. Know that in science, their anatomy has changed. Like I said, there's the bones behind their eyes now.
I know.
What about the one with the 6 holes in her head? When I saw, we got 6 holes in the head, I said, I need this like a hole in the head,
Exactly. But that means physically we've changed. But what? Physically we've changed, but spiritually we haven't. Psychic, our mentality is something we remember. That doesn't even make any sense. No, your soul, your spirit is not of this world. I mean, that makes us a whole other basket of crazy, now, doesn't it? I can't walk into any doctor's office anywhere in this country and say that. They'd lock me up.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got the bones behind the eyes.
How many? Let me ask you this, guys: how many of you walk in the grocery store and you think people are looking at you think people are looking at you weird because you're like sitting there staring at these logos, these company logos on the boxes and stuff? How many times you get that?
It's like the greatest obsession. I have to admit, I'm like hopelessly obsessed with the Mandela effect. I get up in the morning, when I drive to work, I do service calls on copy machine.
Yeah.
I got a hotspot. I turn on, the YouTube. I look for the newest post, and of course, Brian, you're like totally awesome.
Thanks, man.
I always you crank them out like hotcakes, and it's great because I get like a new wow every day. I look forward to it every day. I'm sorry, but I enjoy the effects, and it's just the way it is. I mean, it's like I look forward to like new stuff every day.
Here's one.
I used to be like that. I know Theresa was like that for a while, where they're looking for new effects, but now we're to the point of we're looking for the reasons why.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true too.
I can't help but think that there's a greater reason, there's a purpose behind it. And I got to say, guys, Tom, Brian, Theresa, our numbers are so small. I can find only a handful of people that actually agree with me. And if that's the same worldwide, why? There has to be a reason behind it.
No, and the other question is, why aren't they mentioning this in the news? That's what I'm saying. They're keeping it hush hush.
That's where the fringe group doesn't matter. You know, I mean, we're such a small number. I don't even think we number into a percent, the 1%.
Well, you know, Sid Roth, the Supernaturally show. You know, I try I try to email them and let them know about it. You know, and they're into all the supernatural stuff. I mean, Mandela effect be right down the lane, but I never get a response.
Right, they don't respond. Right, they're not into the Mandela effect. It's strange, isn't it? You would think that people that would be it's very, very strange, and just the same. Again, you would think the people that would be into it, you can't make them see it. If they don't see it, they don't see it. That's the way that it works. The strange thing that does happen, though, is you do have people time and time again agree with you. Oh, yes, I know there was 4 people in the JFK car, not 6. And then the next time you see them, they're thoroughly convinced that there were 6 people, like you never talked to them. Like you never talked to them before, and they don't want to bring up the subject.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think that's the Matrix effect, which, of course, I don't subscribe to, but it is the deer in the headlight look that you get, and people are more comfortable almost believing the lie than it is to see the truth.
And here's the other thing, too. How many of you guys, there's very many hard hitters, like the take me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd that was a ball hitter, I like to call it. These you can get a home run off these Mandela effects. However, there are some Mandela effects that only affect certain people. How do you explain that? Like, I find that so weird.
Like Pikachu's tail.
No, that's very simple. Because the lowest common denominator goes to the greatest number of people. Simple enough.
Yes.
It's like Fruit of the Loom. It's a logo. People recognize it. I think things are changing on the smallest levels, and less people notice them. Larger things happen, and more people recognize them. But when you throw in the different realities, you have conflicting opinions, and people argue over whether or not Fruit of the Loom had a loom or not.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Or had
exactly.
And that's what you have. You have people arguing with each other because they don't understand that they're different realities. I see also people begging each other to agree with them because they need somebody to say that they see what they see so they can think that they're not crazy.
That's right.
They're not crazy, but they need that. They need someone to tell them that they're not crazy.
I know.
With my wife and stuff, my wife totally thinks it's absolutely occultic and totally unrealistic and stuff. So, you know, with her, I just pretend it doesn't exist. I don't bring it up or nothing. You know,
is it Tom talking?
Yeah, it's Tom. Yeah.
Tom, I'm sorry. My wife actually sees it, and it helps me a great deal. However, my wife is a nurse, so she really goes through it at work because everything has changed. She says not only has it changed here, and I'm in there, she has all the hard copies that changed, that the machines have changed. The way you do things has changed. There's a whole new way of doing things now. I said, you're kidding. Wow. She goes, not kidding. And she's a charge nurse. So she has to go and relearn that stuff quietly and quickly so she could, do her job. So, I mean, that's a serious thing. So, I do try to talk to people, but I'm not, I did talk to a couple of religious people that came to the door the other day, and they were absolutely shocked. And I told them about the quantum effect, and I didn't call it the quantum effect. They said that they had never heard it before. And these people one fellow was in his 60s, and one fellow was in his 30s, and didn't hear of it before. And this is not a new thing. Like you said, the Mandela effect has been, at least in pop culture, at least since 2014, and these people have not heard anything about it. So I think our numbers are very, very small.
Do you guys think? Do you think that Nibiru could be possibly causing it, or maybe do you think Nibiru was a psyop to get people to search and to look because that's how I actually ran into the Mandela effect myself.
It can't be a psyop. It can't be a psyop because a psyop can only control what's maybe on the internet or what's on the newspaper, but it cannot control my hard copies that I have here or my audio hard copies, and my hard copies have changed as well.
Yes, that is true, and I praise people like you who actually were the founders, who basically found these Mandela effects before a lot of other people did, and it just came clear to you.
I think they got gone crazy and gone, oh, I can't believe it, and I tried, and I second guessed myself and I said, no, I know what I know. I know what I know. I know what it is, and that's a problem.
That's the thing with the Mandela effect. You have to remember that your memory, your mind, is 100% sharp. That's just the way it is. Because I believe that the enemy has come in to use this to create confusion, to slam the different realities together, different worlds. Confusion.
It doesn't help, that's for sure. But I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't take any prescriptions. I take aspirin. That's about it.
That's what I'm saying.
But the thing is that other people would be so adult, they wouldn't trust their memory.
No, but you got to trust your own memory because, you are pretty sharp. I mean, everybody's got a memory sharp, but this kind of stuff will make you doubt yourself, doubt your memory. And then if you start doubting that, you doubt the Bible, you doubt the...
Well, I did have a personal experience that was very strange, okay? And Theresa has some of these, I have some of these, and these are the things that really make you go, what's going on? I talked to a friend I hadn't talked to in maybe 25 years. We're having a reunion, we're getting together. I get him on the phone, and he asked, of course, the standard question, how's the family? I said, well, my mother's alive, my father's alive. And he goes, well, I know your older brother's, I know that your older brother's dead, and your little brother has passed. And I said, no, my little brother's alive. And he says, what? And I said, no, he's alive. And he was confused for a minute. And then that deer in the headlights is over the phone. He stopped. He corrected himself. He goes, okay. And then he goes, I remember what you said. And then he went to a memory, and he started talking about how I was talking at a friend's funeral. And he said, I remember what you said at Kathy's funeral. And I stopped him short, and I said, I was not at Kathy's funeral.
Oh, my gosh.
He corrected himself. And I said, what's going on? So I think on the flip side, perhaps more things have changed than even we know.
It's like a tip of the iceberg. And I firmly believe it's a tip of the iceberg. We're only seeing the 10% above the surface, but 90% has been changed, and we don't know about it.
Is it possible? Is it theoretically possible? Okay. People have asked me before, will your handwriting change? Will your tracings change? Is it possible that your tracings will not change?
That's true, but then again, well, your experiences are still you. Remember that you are still you inside.
Mm-hmm.
But physically, as Theresa will tell you, the physical pain that we go through. I have physical pain now in my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel the same as I have. I've been in great health all my life, and people that experience the colon effect are complaining about migraines, they're complaining about earaches, they're complaining about all sorts of stuff.
Tinnitus.
They swear they never had before.
Are you guys hearing the screeching, Brian? Tell them, remember the other day, the ear things, ask him about those, the ear.
Yeah, did you guys, now before, it's funny that Theresa mentioned this because, I was actually on break. It was about I go to break around 2 or 2:30 between that time frame every day, and I just happened to look down at my phone. I was having the earring thing going on, and so did Theresa. She mentions it to me in a text. She said, "Did you notice the earring thing going on?" So I'm just wondering if you guys have experienced this. It's like a buzzing or like a ringing in your ears.
Okay.
Right.
Well, my wife had a nasty ring there a few days ago. I mean, she never complained about it. And she was hearing all this ringing. I said, okay, I said to myself, we're going to be having a lot of effects coming out on the carpet. And I even heard some ringing, too. And she don't listen to loud music at all, so I know it's not that typical ear ringing sound,
No, I don't think so. No, I also believe, as Theresa will tell you, too, Tom, I don't know if you've experienced this, but I have seen in the last year or